Good morning, gorgeous ones. Dr. Lucy here from Real Life Medicine with another episode of whatever it's called that I do at roughly 8 a.m. most of the time. I hope you're all having a wonderful start to the day. Remember my year of fun? These are my new earrings for this week. How good are these? Or for this day, I changed them. So again, just a little way to bring some fun in with a fun sort of outfit, lovely colors, all wonderful fun. Two things to talk to you about today. The first thing is today is National Kindness Day or something that's got some fancy title about that. And one of the things that I guess I wanted to really talk about is it's really good to be kind. But the person that we need to be the most kindest to is actually ourselves. Because for a lot of us who have been on a journey of health, and particularly for weight loss, we've spent a lot of time being pretty mean to ourselves when we do the stuff up, so that we get into that berating mode that we talk about, where people go, oh my God, I'm such an idiot, I can't believe I ate that, I'm never going to do that again, why did you do that? And we talk this sort of way to ourselves. It's really unkind, and we do it because we think it is somehow going to motivate us for the future. But newsflash, it doesn't. It doesn't motivate us for the future, because what happens is that when we get into that berating mode, we just stop. We stop reflecting, because the reflection is always awful. What we want to be able to do is reflect on our, whatever you want to call them, slips, lapses, mistakes, things that you regrets maybe. You want to be able to reflect on those with compassion for yourself so that you can make some changes for next time. Berating yourself is the equivalent of yelling at a dog. When you yell at a dog, they just cower in the corner and they shake and they tremble and they don't have any idea what you're talking about. Whereas when you're kind, you might be firm. Okay, you can be firm, but you don't have to be mean. So that's step one. Step two is a little chat about an electrolyte drink that was mentioned by one of our members. And I did talk about this on the cooking show, so if you were watching the cooking show last night, I apologize, but I said I would talk about it on the 8 a.m. live. So she is drinking a brand called BCAA electrolytes, and it's a sports supplement drink. Now, BCAA stands for branched chain amino acids, which is one of the sort of building blocks of protein. So protein goes amino acids, branched chain amino acids, a little one together might be called a peptide, and then big chains together are proteins. So big chains of amino acids are proteins. And they're quite tricky for our body to digest. In fact, I quite like that because it requires a bit of energy for our body to digest proteins when they're in their whole form. Now, all proteins have an energy component, so they have calories. Okay, remember calories, we don't need to be scared of them. Calories are just a unit of a measurement. So proteins have calories, 4 calories per gram of protein. Now in this electrolyte drink, there's no calories. So in a 14-gram scoop of this electrolyte, there was no calories in it. So that tells me that there's none of the, the BCAA, so the branched chain amino acids that it's, telling you it has, are minuscule. They're so small that they don't even, register a caloric intake. So I kind of look at that and go, well, I think that's a little load of rubbish. We know that as humans, we need, again, depending on your height and your weight and all of those things, let's say on average 80 grams of protein a day. It's going to be less if you're smaller, it's going to be more if you're bigger. And here you've got a 14-gram scoop with nothing in it. So I kind of go, yeah. So you're paying for something on the packet that really doesn't exist. And then in this particular one, there were sweeteners. And honestly, a lot of people have sweeteners in their electrolyte drinks because salt's not super palatable. So the sweetener was sucralose, which is one of the old-fashioned chemical sort of sweeteners, and certainly not something that we would normally recommend. So my thoughts on electrolytes in general are certainly when you're first transitioning, when you're going from your, standard high carb diet to a low carb, you will have a massive electrolyte shift. It's normal, and that's the basis of the keto flu. And you will definitely need electrolytes in. And electrolytes are salt, so sodium, potassium, magnesium. There are 3. You can take magnesium in capsules or tablets or powder, and salt you can just put on your food. You can get your potassium from your food, from avocados, but you can also buy potassium salt. And for some people, the electrolyte shift is bigger than others. So some people experience much worse keto flu. And again, we will then say to them, you know what, have lots of electrolytes during that short time. Once you're adapted, hello, Joe, you may not need electrolytes if you're not sweating an awful lot. Okay, if you're sweating a lot, if you do exercise, you know, that you're losing fluid and electrolytes, yes, you will need to replace. But if you're not, so if you're just like me, I don't do any exercise that causes me to have a giant sweat, morning Jess, then the sodium, potassium that I get in my food is adequate. I mean, I add salt basically. So I add salt and I eat a lot of avocados. So I don't need to have them in my diet, as a supplement. Magnesium's a little trickier. Magnesium is a little trickier because a lot of our food now doesn't get magnesium in it. So, you know, and again, you can check yourselves on, you know, signs of magnesium deficiency are going to be cramps, or for some people, sleep issues. Good morning, Jackie. I take as magnesium supplement, but I'm a little sporadic. So I don't take it all the time. And honestly, that there's probably no, I just take it randomly. So there's probably no science to that. But what I'm saying is that you need to know yourself. This is what we teach people all the time. You need to know yourself and your body and work out what works for you, because every single person is different. It's why, I mean, it's, you know, the keto flu thing is the exact example of that. So some people, you know, you might have 2 people, same sort of high carb diet, go onto a low carb diet. Some people will have terrible keto flu and other people won't even notice it. So every single body, we're not a pattern. Right. So they're my 2 summaries for this morning. No, 3. Fun earrings. Be kind to yourselves. Okay. Berating doesn't work. And know yourself and your needs, and I guess, you know, be aware of nutritional labels and just some education, which is fine. It's what we provide. We educate our people on how to read nutritional labels, how to know out whether the good morning, Mary Beth from America, how you know, whether the claims that the company is making, whether they're real, and you know, without sort of giving too much away, most of the time they're not. Most of the time they're not. Good morning, Kim. You have a wonderful day too. All right, lovelies. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope that you can extend some kindness to yourself on Kindness Day, and that if you're in any part of the world that is suffering at the moment, we are thinking of you and hoping that this will pass soon. It will. It always does. But we understand that people, you know, again, everyone has different amounts of suffering at a time. So we are extending our compassion and thoughts to you. Lovelies, see you soon.